this a little bit bigger. I'm going to refrain from all the uncouth jokes about the stench that I have to come here to relieve. Oh, man. Okay, so we have the graduates. Now, let me just say, dude, work is getting done. We have 20 graduates this week. It used to be we just had like 3 or 4. My first hypothesis about this was that we were having so many because so many people were, let's say, re-upping or coming back to the dojo after they've seen Dojo 2.0. That's definitely part of it. We're also just seeing a higher level of activity across the dojo. Now, one of the things that's interesting is with our new format, we can see active members. So let me just show you something. We have a lot less active members. Watch, let's go over here, scoreboard. A lot less active members than we have subscribers. So we have only 695 people who are active. So a lot of people, of course, it's still May, so that's 22 days since we launched 2.0. We're asking people to port themselves over. But it's obvious there's a lot more people in the program than that. But those people that are active, they're just doing much more. They are much more active than we ever had in Dojo 1.0. So that activity is showing itself partly in these numbers that we're getting with the weekly graduates, right? We're just getting loads of graduates. You can't see too much there. The reason I have the screen set up like that is just so that we can see. We're going to try to spend most of the time on games and people graduating. And I don't think, I'll make a jadoob if I need to in a second. Okay, so my friends, let's go recent. And what we're going to do is about, we're going to do 10 people today, 10 people tomorrow, and it just so works out that we have 10 people under 1,200. Now, Gigabyte is an example of a dude who has graduated several times, right? Several times, and so as Vision also did. So let's click on Gigabyte and see what's going on. So we have loads of cohorts, and I'm a little confused. Maybe Gigabyte like started at the bottom, worked his way up. I don't know, Bows. But you can see that's a lot of cohorts that dude has done. And now it's really confusing to me there too, because the bottom it says 1,000, 1,100, but there's no 900, 1,000. And he says at the top, he's listed at 800, 900. So in any case, let's take a look. This is 800, 900, already a massive score breakdown. Look at that, 134 points. Let's just click through this for a second to see. Yeah, dude has like done the work at each of these levels, dog. Damn. I mean, that's just like, dang. So I guess, is my suspicion, that Gigabyte was doing this in 1.0 and then ported all of the stuff that he did, or she did, in the Dojo program. And you can see at the top, all of these things are the graduation. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at those little geese he's got going on. Look at that. Blue belt, yellow belt. That's some serious graduation symbols, my friend. That's like a general who's got all that junk on his shirt, dude. That's what Gigabyte's going on, man. Gigabyte's got it all going, dude. That's right, Zone Buck. $50 for a month. Much cheaper to do it for a year. But if you just want to check it out for a month, definitely, just do $15 and check it out and see how it goes. Let's say the obvious. The cool thing that's happened now with Dojo 2.0, it's much easier for people to use. And we're working at it all the time. We're going to talk a little bit about Dojo Dreams as we go through this. Okay, now Gigabyte says they've done a lot of games and analysis. Let's click on this. Dang. Has been doing the postmortems, the cohort games, blunder games. Everything's going on, man. Okay, so this is really cool. Let's go back to 800, 900. This is actually what they would be graduating out of. So really the graduation we're celebrating today is this one. Look at that. basically 0 work with the opening, exactamundo. That's exactamundo where it should be. Okay, quick story, okay? This is, first of all, a testament to the power of the chess boom. I have a dad friend who maybe knew how to move the pieces, but somehow this dude got caught up, and I think it was like weird stuff with like Gotham chess. He was watching. It wasn't because of me, though we've been hanging out for years. You know, he's got kids the same age as mine. And I started talking to him this weekend. He moved away to Philly but came down to visit. And the dude, turns out he's playing like chess.com 3 hours a day. 3 hours a day. And first of all, so like that guy got taken on by the chess boom. And this is a dude without that much time, but clearly like he's become obsessed. And the part of the story that's interesting to me is, well, there's a lot of parts that are interesting, but in terms of chess improvement, is right away, dude got on the opening train, and and apparently there's a YouTube channel out there, I'd never heard of it, called ASMR Chess. And so he listened to some ASMR chess, and it turned him on to the dragon. This dude, I looked at some of his games, he's rated about 400, maybe a little higher. And he's like all pumped up on the dragon, dude. He's like, oh, I feel like I know what to do when I got the dragon. I'm like, bows. Oh, bows. And I just wanted to say why to bring it up, because Gigabyte is doing it correctamundo. Look at that, 1% openings. And I told him, boss, you can't be doing it until 1200. And he's like, oh, but I want it so much. I love it so much, bows. So anyways, that was interesting to me. Also interesting, when I talked to him, even though he's doing all that time, he's like, oh, I don't have the time for a real game. I don't have time. But bows, you're playing 3 hours a day. I think you can make it work. I think you can make it work. Okay, so let's see if Gigabyte has some games. Pop. No games. No games. So one of the things, too, about all these graduations, I feel like I would have noticed or remembered the name from before. So we're just going to keep an eye on Gigabyte, see where that goes. From what I'm seeing here, it looks very impressive. All right, let's go back to recent. We're going to look for Vision. So pop, pop, pop. Vision is like right around here somewhere. Oh, so many gigabytes, dude. There's Vision. And as we know, that if you graduate, you are encouraged. There's a little pop-up that says, hey, you want to say something? And so a lot of people have some interesting comments. One of the things I like about it as a place to drop a comment is, one, I'll definitely read it. But two, you might not feel obliged to say something for feedback for like the sensei questions that we have on Discord. And you might just want to like give your feedback in a more informal way, right? Such as this. So let's read what Vision says. Kind of just did it to see if I skipped anything getting better past this point. I did it myself previously. Okay, so let's click on Vision, Activity, and you can see Vision has graduated several times. I don't understand why 900, 1,000 is there, but there it is. And has begun the 600, 700. Let's see what happened 5, 600. Okay, just a little bit. So I'm guessing we're not going to see any games. Let's keep going back. Yeah. All right, let's look with the games. Oh, there we go. And Vision is either Princess Sparkle or Lee Chess AI Level 2. I have a feeling they're Princess Sparkle. Let's go check. Uh-oh. So this is not an annotated game. This, in fact, is the first time ever in the Dojo database that I just get a dump, that it's not anything, no words at all. Well, that wasn't it, Bows. That wasn't it, Princess Sparkle. And the AI was very gentle to you, not to take the queen, very gentle. Okay, well, that's Vision right there. There's a lot of questions I have on those two graduations, but let's move on. And, Kraai, you know what, buddy? You're messing all up. Yes, Gigabyte and Vision are in here, but we wanted to start with 1%, dog. Okay, so hold on. Buddy, you got to go and start where you were starting, not meetings, boss. So we're going to find 1%. He's in somewhere in the middle over here. Pop. Okay, Duarte, he's like a couple more. Pop. 1%. This is my third comeback in your program, and hopefully my last. Your structured program helps me a lot in my journey. Thank you, Dojo. So I think what this reflects is Juan was like, dude, I can't take your Google Docs and all your stuff at Dojo 1.0, but Dojo 2.0, it's the real deal. Kids crying in the background. Daddy's got to finish his 40 blitz games. Dude, even his daughter, who I know, is like, you got to give him some tips. He's terrible. He's a terrible chess player. Okay. Let's look at 1% here. Now, I'm really confused, man. Because 1%, I don't know. Right here, it's saying 1,000, 1,100. Let's go look at activity. It's very confusing here, 1%. Very confusing. So I think in this transfer of data, a lot of people are getting confused. Because this is all over the place. 0, 300, 7, 8, 1,000, 1,100. What does that mean? What does that mean? So let's click over here for a second. Yeah. All right, let's just go see games. All right, let's go look at a 1%. So cohort 0 to 300 with a rating of 2040. There's some real questions here. All right, let's just click on this one, see what happens here. These are all fairly recent games. Oh, okay, so this is not annotated. Let's go back. Let's try this one. A little bit of annotations. Let's just see if the other one has some better annotations. Okay, good. Let's try this. Now, it might say 1,500, but you know that with the Elite Chess, 1,500 is probably like a 200 rating. You never know with Elite Chess. Trying the Elite Chess study plus sending it to the dojo for the first time. Great. The way I did it is I copied a game, blah, blah, blah. Great. Some codes needed for the transfer. Luckily, Dojo got my back. Good. So this is a 30-minute game, and one of the things that we're going to look for is how much time did he and his opponent use? A lot of times when we look at games at this level, people are just blitzing, man. Blitzing, even though they got 30 minutes. And then this is plus, looks like plus 20 seconds, 30 plus 20. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay. But Mr. Jesse's voice is in my ear saying, develop quickly. Yeah. Okay, now there's nothing wrong with d4. d4 is definitely developing, right? You have to make 2 pawn moves at a minimum to get all your boys out, right? Okay, but there's bishop e2, fine. Weird, right? And this is the kind of thing you're going to get at this level. Oftentimes they're terrified of a knight g5. Obviously, though, there's no need to be worried for a knight g5 right now. Good. Okay, as I've said a million times, they're going to give you time. Now I'm yelling at you, Baus. I'm yelling at you. Stop. Stop. It's hammer time. Play for T4 or castles, boss. So just in terms of opening principles, what are the 3 moves that make the most sense? Castles, D3, D4. Those are our 3 principled moves, right? H3 isn't it? Sometimes I think the game is programmed to make you win. Give you a feeling of confidence. To keep you motivated to play. Meaning they match you with a bot and not a real person. Is there any reason to think this isn't a real person? They're moving faster than a bot. Look at how fast they're moving. D3. Okay, I agree with you. D4 is better, but there's nothing wrong with D3. Okay. Good. Weird. Spicy. We're going to call that spicy. Dude takes, also spicy. Castles. Oh, buddy. Is that queen going to live? Back. Okay. H4. Okay, now let's look at your notes here for a second. Very frustrated seeing his bishop's activity are better compared to mine. No, boss. No, what do you mean his bishop's activity? You're killing this fool. Look at your development lead. Yeah. Now H4 is a little weird. I guess, let's say the normal-ish moves would be one of the rooks to G1 and or D4, right? You're doing great. Okay, let's pin that bishop. Good. Okay, now we need to do something. Okay. Now, the problem there is we have blundered a piece. Wasted 5 minutes to blunder a piece. Sob, sob. So you can see, actually, dude did really take a lot of time there and missed it. Missed that the piece was hanging. Okay, but let's think about it for a second. What should dude have done? One thing I want to stress is even though this position might feel complicated, we should by all means think that we're doing great because our development is amazing. And d4 from a positional standpoint definitely makes sense. So I think a good default move would be rook g3 followed by rook over, and you've got great play. Great play. Okay, so d4, blundering a piece. As I've said 1,000 times, in the under 1,000 level, it is about not hanging your stuff. Pop. Good move. Ooh. Ooh. Pop. And another one. Okay. That's what we call a yard sale. Everything's just hanging out there on the grass. All right, let's see if black can put you away. Oh, this guy's just taking everything, dog. He's taking everything. Oh, caught himself, though. Got himself. He gave you some time. Okay, now we're talking to him. Oh, that's a good move. We got one trick, baby. Ow! Ow, 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 ow! Welcome to the dojo. White wins by checkmate. This is a bot, I believe. Maybe it is, dude. But, I mean, still, Yuri 1955, okay. I don't know. In any case, first of all, I can tell this is a first experiment in doing the annotations. Great, dude. Great. And it's clear what the need for you to do is to play there are a variety of things in the under 1,000 requirements help you get the visualization skills to not drop pieces, right? We've got the tactic books, we've got the Polgar mates, we've got the blunder games. And the blunder games I want to highlight, that's new to Dojo 2.0, where we just want you to play a bunch of games that have faster time control and just think about not hanging your stuff. That's it. That's it. Okay, good. So that's 1%. Let's move on to Zen Pony. I like that name. And Zen Pony is somewhere right after 1%, somewhere over here. There's Boss and there's Zen Pony right there. Zen Pony also going up 300 to 400. Let's take a look. 236 change. Very nice. And then some good work there. Some games and analysis. Hopefully we'll find some stuff. Some tactics. Let's click on that for just a half a second. We got some mates in one. Some puzzle rush. Some survival. Okay, good. And then let's look at the end game. The algorithm. Beautiful. Been working with Jamil and myself trying to get the algorithms done. Just a fun, quick little anecdote. Ages ago, me and Jamil did a bunch of the rook endgame stuff, but today he had real trouble with defending with just a basic Philidor position. And it struck me that that's the kind of thing that we're going to have people repeat on a regular basis, right? So like we need to timestamp various activities, i.e., let's say you finish it in May of this year. If you haven't graduated, you need to do that thing again in a year, right? And there's other things that we can timestamp for more than 1 year. I think books, for example, you don't have to do every year. But that's the kind of thing, the algorithm that has to be repeated. Okay, let's see if Zen Pony's got some games. There we go, dude, Zen Pony. Let's click on this one, Gustav Primus. Okay, I like just superficially, the annotations look good. And also we have our timestamps, so we're going to be able to see if the players were thinking. Question, how much to join the dojo? It's $15 a month, $100 a year. So $15, you can go check it out. D4, F5. Now, this, where it says mistake ED4 was best, that's like the computer telling us that after the game. That is not a human writing that. I've just seen that. I've seen that too often. I know that's like the little synopsis thing that they give you at the end. Now, it's quite possible that Zen Pony didn't know how to turn that off. It's like that Chess.com and Lichess both do something like that, and it's like you have to turn it off or else it like automatically spits this out at you. Okay, F5 is definitely weird. And one of the things about this where it says mistake ED4 is best, I don't even know if ED4 is best. I would say knight D7 is best. But you end up not understanding like why. And F5, it's kind of a complicated move, honestly. There's kind of a lot going on with this move, F5. Yeah, so this, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed about this bishop c4 was best talk. So, for example, let's say you play bishop c4 and fe happens. Well, you have to see that that's the crushing idea. And at this level, it's not easy to see that. But that's the intention, right? That's the wicked intention here. Okay, so knight c3, natural move. Okay. And normally, I think let's just let it go. Let's let it go, Bobs. All right. Fun fact, I was replicating the game on a real board, and my son had exchanged the black queen and king, so I thought I was checking the black king. Okay. Now, what I want to say about this that's good is that you are developing every move, right? Fantastic. Now, again, when it's saying mistake, it's why, because that's like the computer loves the bishop. But is that a mistake for this level? I don't know. I don't know if that's a mistake for this level. Here, for me, the big mistakes at this level is somebody hanging a piece, So this computer automatically generated stuff isn't helping anybody. Okay, so now we're going to see, did white think and did white find knight takes e5? Let's find out. Knight takes e5, good. And you spent almost a minute on that. Yeah, or let's say with the increment, I think it's plus 20 seconds. No, it looks like maybe just 30 minutes. Good. And obviously black missed that and you found that. So beautiful, that's what we're looking for. Queen e7, inaccuracy. DE4 was best. That's what we call a blunder, my friends. I don't know where this computer comes up with inaccuracy. That is a stone cold blunder. Thank you very much. Thank you. Check to the visible king. Okay, I don't understand d5. I don't get that one. Thank you very much. There you go, Baus. There you go. Check. Ooh, that's a mean move. Check. He's taking all his coconuts. Nice, dude. So there it is. Zen Pony's crushing it. Let's go back and briefly look at Zen Pony here with the activity in particular. So Zen Pony had done a little bit of work and then gone up some games and analysis. Oh yeah, dude, look at this. Some blunder games, annotated games, games played. Beautiful. There's a time breakdown, 30 minutes. I have a feeling it was probably more than that. But this is great, dude. And one metaphor I came up with that maybe we could quantify is, at my gym, they got these resistance bands. Basically, like, imagine a big rubber band. That's all it is. And, you pull the thing up, and at first, of course, it's very easy to pull the thing up. But then the more you go up, obviously, the harder it gets, just like a rubber band. And I think one thing we might be able to quantify here is how many dojo points does it take to graduate? And my sense is that you'll takes more points the higher you go in the cohorts. So for example, here it's not surprising that we get a quick graduation at 13 points, right? Whereas higher, it's obviously going to take on average more, right? Now, the ratings are from all over the place, but everybody is, this is a question in chat, everybody is normalized to the dojo ratings. One quick fun thing we can see actually on the scoreboard, if we go statistics, is you look at rating systems, and there's our rating systems breakdown. And there was surprisingly more ChessCom than Lichess in here for me. I was surprised by that. I would have guessed it was more or less even. But then the other thing to really observe is as you go up in the cohorts, the more you're getting over the board ratings, USCF, FIDE, ECF, that kind of thing, right? So it's a nice, beautiful chart. Okay, my friends, let's go back. And we're now going to do Eastern Henry. So Eastern Henry, where are you, boss? There, he's like number 5 in here. He's around here. That's Woozer. So we got 2 more on Eastern Henry. There he is. So there's Eastern Henry. Let's go look activity, 71-point gain. One of the most amazing stats about the dojo, about 1.0, is that we had an average rating gain of 41 points across the dojo. And now when I reflect, like, so many of those people were kind of inactive, and now with this site, people are much more active. I have a feeling that number is actually going to rise, right? And to me, that's a big number, especially when you consider we got a lot of people who are joining the dojo kind of like Planet Fitness. You know, it's aspirational, and then they don't do anything, which is fine. I don't have any problem with that, right? But the real question is like, well, you know, yeah, what about the people getting after it? How much are they gaining? Huge question for me. Okay, so Eastern Henry, we're going to look at what Eastern Henry did 405. Took him 20 dojo points, mostly tactics. Let's click on that tactics. Boom. Everyone's First Chess Workbook Part 1. If you watch our YouTube channel, you'll see I'm reviewing every book in the program, and that's on my list. People seem to like that book a lot. It's a new book by a friend of the dojo, Giannatos, Peter Giannatos. And so that's cool. And we got the Mates in 1 in there. Great. So I have a feeling we're not going to see games from Eastern Henry. Right. Okay, that's fine. Some people start with just focusing on the tactics. Eventually, they will have to do some long games to improve. Okay. Actually, my mind did a trick. It's Eastern Henry. I was saying Eastern Henry. I even wrote it down on my little cheat sheet here as Eastern Henry. Okay, my friends. Now, in my head, we've already done vision. So now we're going to do Rob Hassett. And Rob Hassett somewhere in the middle here. Let's click right. Bang. That's Jordan. Oh, Baus. Yeah, there's Jordan. It's a little bit down the road. Rob Hassett. All right, here we go. I found tactical training at this level is easily the most valuable. I do also really enjoy the analysis, the emphasis on self-analysis of games, no engine use, and no opening work. I think it's effective. Thank you. Well, thank you, Rob. Fantastic comment. So, 47 gain. Let's look at activity here. And nice. Tactics. Dude has put in the tactics, a little bit of endgame. Very nice. The endgame algorithm at this point, we really want you to master things like, you know, queen. Queen mating the king. Stone cold. All right. So, probably not any work with, oh, that's looking beautiful. So that's what they did to get out of the 7-8 cohort. Some games and analysis, a lot of tactics. Let's click on that. Boom, what a nice graph, dude. What a nice graph. There's a time breakdown. Whew, 71 hours. I'm loving it, dude. Oh, Rob, you're killing it, Bows. Killing it. So everyone's first chess workbook is big. 1, 2, and 3. That's basically most of it right there, which is mostly tactics. All right, I'm loving it, man. All right, let's go see if we can see some games. Oh, here we go, bud. There's Rob, dude. Okay. So, let's take a look. These are some recent games. Let's look at Rob here. Rob Hassett. And I want to just click on another one. This is lightly annotated. I want to say we've got some light annotations. Shame. All right, let's look at this one. So this one, Rob is black. Now, it's funny, I'm going to just say this thing is called now the Wayward Queen. And I just want to stress, chess.com is just making this stuff up, man. This thing, Nakamura played a couple Blitz games like 10 years ago, and now this doesn't deserve, I don't know. So anyways, chess.com, they got a special office, special back room, and there's just some dude back there making up these names. So anyways, here we go. Pop. There you go. Okay, you got to defend against this, Bows. Okay, there we go. And now let's spank him. It's time to start spanking him. Pop. Pop. Beautiful. Pop. Ah, beautiful. Now I fought off the Wayward Queen. I'm castled and I'm slightly better in development. There you go, Bows. There you go. That's all we need at this level, Bows. It's time to spank this fool. It's time to spank this fool. All right. 92. Knight c6. Krai's unhappy. Why? Because we have the lead in development. Well, I just don't like to lose development in generale. But here, I definitely don't want to give up time. So the default move would be knight takes e2. But I want to stress, when you are in a position like this, where you are crushing the fool, then it's time to hurt him. And so as an example, pop, let's hurt him, And if pawn takes, we hurt him. This is what happens when you don't develop your stuff. This is what happens to your soul, right? Okay, so I don't like knight c6. I think you should try to internalize me yelling at you for not developing your pieces. It doesn't have to be my voice, but just some jerk face's voice inside your head every time you don't develop your stuff, right? Because one of the things, it's much easier to learn me internalizing the stuff about tempo than it is to not hang your stuff. Not hanging your stuff is a whole journey. That takes you out of, the under 1,000 cohorts. But the time thing, that can be internalized very quickly, right? Okay. This dude's just moving around and around. Good move. Bishop g4 looks good. Check to the miserable queen. Okay. Yeah. Keep harassing the lady, Bows. Here we go. Now, we definitely want to play knight takes c2. So one thing about dropping stuff is that when your opponent loses time, as this guy has, right, that's when tactical opportunities will occur for us, right? Okay, so queen d7. And now this thing. This was a miscalculation on my part. For some reason, I did not see the bishop also defending the e2 square. This move does still manage to win a pawn, however, though by accident. Now, Bows, that pawn on c2 was hanging real easy. Real easy. Okay. Yeah. So, rook ac1, knight d4. Beautiful. Now, we got to say, you're in total control of this game here. Okay. A little frisky with his a5. I'm not sure what the intention is. Your opponent definitely gets freaked out by it. Okay. Pop. There you go, Bows. Yeah. Oh, c6. Now I want to commend you. what we could have played knight d4 first, but c6 is a nice move. Now, I don't know why you did it. My reason that I like it is that by playing c6, you control the knight. So that part of it I really like. I don't get it. Oh, see, I had a feeling. I had a feeling you wanted to play d5. No, no. Leave that pawn on c6, killing the knight on c3. What's the correcto mundo move? Knight d4 is the correcto mundo move. Now, this move, it worries me because you're activating this knight, like that knight now does something, and maybe this happens to you, right? Queen g5, yeah, it's getting a little frisky. That might be a hell of a move, honestly. Wow. Now, I think they might have got lucky. They might have got lucky with that thing. I don't know. No, I don't know. I was about to say the point, but I don't know if the person here playing white sees the point. But the point would be like that this is too hectic. I'm not even sure it is too hectic, honestly. So let's say some obvious stuff. When we're doing these annotations, we want to be as accurate as possible, especially when it comes at this level to not hanging stuff, right? So when they play knight d5, we definitely want to analyze knight takes d5. And that analysis will really help us progress tactically, right? Okay, so, and whereas, a move that would make some sense for white would be, say, knight b5. And I don't know what's happening, but we have to worry about a couple things, right? Okay. Weird. Thank you. Bishop c4, now it comes. And now a very spicy move that I think I like. Knight f2. Nice, dog. Now, let me say something. You should have said something here. It's time to say something. Time to give a variation, Baus. Here we are in the thick of it. In particular, what would have happened if white moved the queen? And if they're going to move the queen, where would it go? It's still pretty hectic. Pop, pop. Okay. Check to the miserable king. Now, can we save our stuff? In the end, you decide to part ways with El Knight. Maybe you don't have anything better. Let's look. Knight g4, king e1. And that's a mess, man. Wow. Okay, I'm not seeing anything amazing. If we got to take the queen, of course. And now we're going to end up giving back some stuff. Okay. And in fact, maybe knight d2 was the right move, man. Look at that. Okay. You're in control. A little bit weird. Now, I just want to yell at you a little bit. We need more words and variations. Here it would be nice to try to trade off the rooks with the rook fc8. Very bad blunder. Yeah. Now, yeah. Okay. People are just, okay. Stuff's happening. Stuff's happening. There we go. f6. And now we should be winning this. Oh, no, he hung that too. Kraai even blundered it. He was like, well, what's going on? Oh, buddy. So we needed to play rook a3 first. These are the notes we need to make. Rook a3 first, and then we take the Bishovsky. Oh, no. Oh, now we got ourselves a really hot business. Thank you. Someone blew it. Someone blew it. Okay, Rob, good notes, dude. And I'm pumped to see people like Rob's progress, dude. This is really good. Okay, so my friends, I'm going to take a quick little break. I want to turn you on to this rap. Check it out.
Welcome to Dojo.
Check out Joe, he's a Reddit bro, likes to edit posts, and he starts to gloat when he gets the most of votes or likes. Yeah, he's really hyped, really psyched, cause the crowd is really tight and the work is really light. His training plan is the first thing your eyes see, cause he got more follows than my boy Aragaisi. Opinions on Magnus, Hans, and Karyakin, who cheated who, which engine
That
did he
ain't
hacking.
Mouse.
He got blocked by Short, ignored by Dvorak, but he can't be wrong. He scored a like from Truan. He's got lightning attacks on GM blunders and gaffes, true not over the board. It's only the other chat. Still his 7-year plan ensures the last laugh. Distractions detract from any actual actions. Excuses are useless. He rues his inaction. Awaits satisfaction. The status of Magnus. He bought 50 books and opened up 10. Fools ought to read Psalms, not my system. He's got 30 alt accounts on every site around. Chessable.
All right, during my little pause that refreshes, I decided to go on a little rant. Okay. Here's my rant. The achievement of Dojo 1.0 that was very surprising to me, really glorious, was that we had just the incredible quality of game annotations. And it was kind of across the board. I felt like numerous times I went in there and just clicked on random games, any game, and I got great annotations. The last couple shows, I'm clicking on games and I'm like, oh, I don't know what happened. Now, for what it's worth, like to get somebody at this level, the under 1,000 level, to do even this level of work is great. That's a huge achievement. But I just want to say, in comparison to what we had going on in Dojo 1.0, it's not comparable, right? And the deeper the notes, the better. And you can see in this game, it would really help Black, Rob, to go over a little bit more in depth, especially the tactical problems that we had in these positions, to really kind of try to think through what was happening tactically. So I'm hoping that's not a long-term trend. All right, so let's keep going. Next, we got Bas. Someone might be shouting me at Discord. Let's just make sure. Oh, yeah. You guys, we got a new Instagram reel. Oh, man, I want to play it, Bobs. I want to play it. Let's say now. Let me play it on stream. We got a good one, man. Now, you saw David's video. That was great. That one didn't take off in a viral way, unfortunately. We're hoping this new little reel, it's like 30 seconds long, if that. And, I'm pumped, dude. I'm pumped. Okay, let's move on. Who are we looking for? We're looking for Bas. Let's go Bas, and we're going to look at recent. And Bas is right after 1%, somewhere in there. There's Jordan. That's a little further. Pop. 2 more. Pop. All right, so there's Bas. Bas went up to 800, 900. Rating change of 17. Let's check out the activity. We have several cohorts going on. And we'll look at, first is 800, 900. Mostly endgames. Let's see what's going on. Some algorithm. Okay. And then we go back to the cohort. So according to this, we're probably not going to see any games from Bas. And then we just look at the current one. Also has done a lot of endgame work. Great, dude. Okay. It's actually rare that we see somebody concentrating on the endgame. And something I just want to stress I love so much about this is in the old Google Doc, I just couldn't see it when I was doing the grad show as clearly as I can here. Here I'm just like, boom, I can see what this person is working on. And, you know, if you're just coming to the dojo and you want to focus, you want to get your end game right, great, dude, great. You know, it's like you come to a gym and you decide, I don't know, you have something in particular you want to do before you do everything else. You know, maybe you want to do powerlifting first or something. Fine. You want to do leg day first? Fine. You want to start with leg day? I'm all for it, Bows. Okay, Kostya's going for it. Kostya's going for it. All right, you guys. So I'm going to play you a video. And I have to find a way to bring it to the screen. Maybe I have to download it. Let's download this bad boy. And now I need to bring it over here, and I gotta go. What is this? It's gonna be a. Oh my gosh, Kraai! It's so hard for me to figure this out. Media source. I'll call it media source. We're gonna browse, baby, and I'm gonna go. It should be downloads. Here we go. Let's do it, boss. Can we do it? Can we do it?
You can either play Blitz for the rest of your
Where's the
life and
sound,
never
Bow? Where's the sound?
improve, or
Wait,
you can
time out,
join the
Kraai.
Dojo training program. It's a structured training plan and a community to grow with.
Posted as-
Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo. It's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo. I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need. G. Sweatwork's what I believe. Ways what I'll receive.
sound
Don't
bows?
you know?
Oh,
Welcome
no.
to the dojo. It's good to
I'll
grow.
watch this
Welcome to the
1,000 times,
dojo.
dude. Okay, let me just write Kostya. Sound not on. So, maybe I need to check the properties or something over here. No puedo understand. Let me try it one more time.
You can either play Blitz for the rest of your life and never improve, or you can join the Dojo training program. It's a structured training plan and a
No
community
puedo
to grow
sound
with.
fine.
Don't you know? Welcome to the
We got a
dojo.
great
It's good to
Instagram.
grow. Welcome to the dojo. I
figure
gave
it
up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need. G. Sweatwork's what I believe. Ways what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo. It's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo.
If you got the Instagram, the TikToks, or whatever, Kostya's our boy there. You know, he's working hard, getting us some reels, dog. Oh, the stream had the sound. Oh, okay, cool. Nice, dude. I couldn't hear the sound. So as long as you guys heard the sound, that's cool with me. I guess I have some theories as to why I couldn't hear it and you guys couldn't. Any case, let's move on. That's glorious. Glorious, glorious, glorious. All right. What was I doing before then? I was doing something. Let's go check out. This was Bossier, I believe. Yeah. Let's go check out Gigabyte. And actually, let's do it a slightly different way. Gigabyte has graduated multiple times. What I'm going to do is go... Wait, boss, didn't you start off with Gigabyte at the very start of the show? Could you tell me that? I think you did, buddy. So you did. So now we're going to do Kevin McKee. And the idea I had was we'll go scoreboard, and we'll go to pop. And we're just going to take a look at this glorious thing. Look at all these people we got, dude. This is a big one. This is 71 people. In the old scoreboard, we had well over 100, and so I'm sure we're going to get that eventually here, too. There's Kevin McKee, 5.18 dojo points. Let's look at activity, and there's their points, and then we're going to look here, 11 points. So, as I said, some people are either graduating very quickly or they're just not putting in all of their business from Dojo 1.0. We definitely have some games in analysis. Ooh, that's a nice time breakdown. Look at that. 79% games in analysis. I like it. That's the tactics, right? Games analysis. Ooh, nice. The blender games. So, blender games are a new thing, too. Blender games are just like, dude, when you're under 1,000, play some faster games and just get the reps in focusing on not hanging your stuff. So there we go. That's looking good. And let's see if Kevin's got some games here. There's one game. Let's check it out. All right. That's looking like some good annotations. Cool, dude. All right. Kevin is black, so we're going to flip it around. I normally play the England Gambit in Blitz, but wanted to follow opening principles. I never play this, but let's learn something new. Okay, now you're talking to me. You shouldn't even know the name England Gambit, right? Come on. Fine. Weird. Now, this is a key reason not to study openings at this level. opponents are going to do just bizarro stuff like queen f3. And then we just want you to play principled moves. Good. And now we want you to play e5. Very nice, dude. Very nice. So this is, it looks like a game 45 plus 15. One of the things we're going to be looking here with Kevin is at what point do people spend some time on the clock. Just visually, looks like first 10 moves, no one's thinking at all. Right? Now, to Black's credit, I think Black could play these moves without thinking too long. This is grandmaster play so far. Okay. Now, Black has several great moves here. Several. I'll just stress that. That's a good move. And now, bishop d6 looks powerful. Knight b4 looks powerful. Okay. Now, knight b4, the only thing that gives me mild heebie-jeebies about knight b4 is maybe dude could play knight b5. However, worst case scenario on knight b5, we play bishop d6, right? And we say, what do you want, Bowers? What do you want? So, genius level. We're crushing it. Now, we want bishop d6. Thank you very much. This is what you get when you don't develop your stuff. Castles. Thank you. Fine. Now, let me just say, I'm not sure about fine. We needed to hear, the simplest thing for us to do here would have been to play h6, just so that knight d5 wasn't possible. I don't think, I take it back though, it's still not possible. It's still not possible. Let's see if dude wins the queen. Welcome to the dojo. Thank you very much. Let's see what Kevin wrote here. But luckily, I was already in a good position for a nice tactic to win the queen. One thing I just want to stress enough, again and again, you'll hear me say it, is when they give you time, that's when stuff like this is going to happen to them. When the king's all exposed, nothing's working, you know. And even in those situations where you're up considerably in time and you hang something, you're still going to have great chances just to be remaining on top because their business is so terrible. All right, so this is a welcome to the dojo right here for Kevin's opponent. Check to the miserable king. Thank you. Yeah, good. Okay, now let's start taking things. Thank you. That ain't it, Bows. That ain't it, Bows. Okay, now a move I don't really like is queen d7. So this move, e4, when we see it, we should be like, nah, boss, this ain't it. This is not the way you play chess. And so this is a great opportunity when you analyze the game to think about what to do. Now, notice, when you played this game, you played queen d7 in a minute. In a minute, Bows. Okay? You can take your time, and this is clearly like, obviously you're up like 1,000 pieces. But at this level, especially, we want to put them away, and they will give you stuff. That's like one of the things that we know for certain. If they're not giving you stuff, they're cheating. Don't say it, Kraai. Kostya doesn't like it. In any case, they're not going. They will hang stuff. So, for example, here a nice move would be pop. We're threatening to take the rook and make a queen. If they recapture, there's two ways to win the bishop. One with a double attack here, and another one with a double attack here. Right? And this also looks bad because our queen is like, stopping the bishop. Of course, you are still winning. Thank you. That's a good move. That's a good move. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Check to the miserable king. There you go. Now you're just taking stuff. Black wins on time. Now, if you went on time, it suggests that dude just like let his clock, like he was just so depressed and then was like, I didn't use my time at the beginning, but now I'm going to use it to like just have you sit there. Have you sit there because you're a terrible person for making me lose this game or something like that, you know? Okay. So, that was Kevin. Kevin's making some good progress. We got two more people, Judo and Lucas. I am Nita, which I've learned means my name is Lucas in Korean. I don't know Korean, but I do know that. Thank you very much. What was the time control? That was like game. They started with 45 minutes, and I think they got 15 seconds a pop. So one of the things I'll just, I say it again and again, at these lower levels, if you can learn to slow down, your rating is already, it's just exponential. It's just exponential. And especially when you're playing these chumps online that aren't thinking, you got to realize that if you played them over the board, they would probably be significantly stronger. But because they're so distracted when they're playing, they're just going to be making a lot of chump mistakes. Is one of the reasons I really want to stress people play real chess and play, with some longer time controls. Okay, that's Kevin. Let's go look at judo. Judo, where's judo, Bows? Oh, man. There he is. Okay, here we go. Pop. And we go way to the end. Pop. There's judo. Let's read what judo says. I got to review my games with a couple of members in higher cohorts, and that was incredibly helpful. Oh, there you go, Bows. There you go. Fantastic. Let's click on judo here. Nice. And let's go activity. And so let's look at, this was the previous cohort, 33 points, some endgame, nice, some tactics, some game analysis. And there we go, man. There we go. Mostly games and analysis. Fantastic. I really like this time breakdown, Bows. Oh, this shows people. Shows me what is going on in judo's soul, and I can tell, man, judo's on the right path. Judo is on the right path. Okay, let's see if judo's got some games for us. He does. Fantastic. So, it looks like these are games from a USCF over-the-board tournament, and we're going to see now some notes, hopefully. Right, so judo is rated 848 USCF against a 1,000 level player. One thing I really appreciate about this, by the way, is usually, as I've said before, in the lower cohorts, people aren't playing or using their over-the-board rating, right? Because they're more focused on their online rating. But as we saw in the last game, you play these chumps online, you're not getting their best. You play somebody over the board, you're sitting there for a while, that's going to be a grind. It's going to take more energy from you too. And it's going to be more like sweat work. It will improve your game more. It's obviously harder to arrange. I get it. It's harder to go to a tournament, harder to, commit to a whole weekend. I understand. Maryland Open, boss. There it is, dude. Oh, so cool, man. So cool. Hold on. Let's click on judo. Maybe judo's got something in their profile. Adult learner who helps coach elementary chess. Oh, there you go. So one of the cool things about that is I was, first of all, at the Maryland Open, won the Maryland title, Maryland state champion title. And a lot of people, came up to me. I was very busy. I was kind of sick. I had a terrible cold. A lot of people came up to me, and that was just really cool. Like, oh, yeah, I'm in the dojo, blah, blah, blah. Fantastic. And one of the reasons I wanted to mention that now is we're finally getting it together with our merchandise. We've been slacking on that forever. And one of the things that's really important to me for the merchandise is, like, once me or somebody else has a dojo shirt on, then people will be like, oh, yeah, that person is, I'm in the same program. I can go up and talk to that person, say hi, yada, yada, so it gives it more of a sense of like community being out there, and then lets everybody see, myself included, like, oh, this person's in the dojo. I'm going to go check out their game, see what's going on, maybe say hi, that kind of thing. All right, let's check out judo here. Judo is white. Good. Fancy. So typically I have played e5, but I have had marginal success. And so I went with a nice line I had learned for g5. But unfortunately, he didn't follow any of the overwhelmingly common moves. I wish I had done e5. Okay, so let's just say that you're going to fall into my standard rant of studying openings when you shouldn't, right? This with e5, it's a fancy thing called the Max Lang attack, but dude isn't allowed to know that. until 1200. And one of the hardest things for us to communicate is not doing openings in 1200, learning how to play principal chess first before you do openings. And as I said, with my experience with my friend, just starting the game and he's listening to ASMR chess, dude, learning to play the dragon, getting all pumped up, but just not there yet. He hasn't done his layups. It's not time, boss. It's not time. Okay, here we go. Good move, d5. e5. This is the most common move by a decent margin and what I was prepared for. Okay, here we go. Check to the miserable king. Now knight f3. So, does white have some compensation? Oh, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Bishop g4, c3. Spicy. Spicy. Now, one thing that's interesting just on a tech level is that dude writes, I would do this instead, looking at it again to avoid the queen swap. And when he says this, it's like he's talking about his arrow. So we're getting the arrow import going on pretty well. That's a technical challenge for Boomer GM over here. Now, what I want to say about this move c3 is we can debate it all day long, but what's nice about it is just the fact that you are trying to get your knight involved in an active way. And then the real problem is not c3, but when they take here, you need to take with the pawn, boss. You need to take with the pawn. You can't be trading off your queen. Okay. Now, I want to stress the reason you have some compensation here is that dude can't castle yet because this thing is hanging, right? Now, do I think c3 is the correct Amundo move? Probably, no, but it's well-intentioned. You're trying to get your stuff out. But this is poor because now dude is just going down to the end game. Okay. Now, let me just say, I'm certain white's intuition was, well, if I take with the pawn, I'm worried about my king getting mated. Now, you might get mated. It's true. Your king's a little exposed, but you are the one with initiative. Black still has to figure out, what do I do with the bishop sitting there on e7? Good move. Okay. And that's an example of a move where maybe black has to do it, but I don't think they have to do it, but it really does help you to mobilize your knight. And they should definitely think about something else. Maybe knight d5, cd, castles long. Give back the pawn, but have control. Okay, so now black obviously has a problem with how do they develop and keep hold of the bishop on e7. It looks to me like you have good compensation. Let's see what they do. Loss of time. Thank you very much. And now we want bishop f4. Okay, I have some sympathy for this b3. Okay. Dude wants to play bishop a3. By the way, I think it would help you and everybody else watching these notes to write in, I realize it was over the board game, but to write once in a while like what the times were. Give yourself and us a sense of how long you were thinking about a move like b3. Okay, now, I think a good option for black here would be to say, this is very important for, I was going to say beginners, but I see this all the way up to like the 1700, 1800s. The people need to realize the king is a fighting piece in the endgame, and so I think king d7 is correct, and next move we'll play bishop d6, right? Rook d8, good move, and now really, black has put himself in a very precarious position where maybe they're not going to get out. But king d8 will come next move, presumably. And so we need a way to deal with that. And rook ad1, maybe. But so this is a tactical moment. critical moment has risen. White definitely has compensation, but are some problems. If you move the knight away, this knight will come to d5 and really help defend. Yeah, so this is I want to stress, this is a very tactical situation right here. Let's see what white does. Rook e2. Let's read what what Judo writes after king d8. I looked at this move for a while too, but just couldn't figure out how it would work, and I figured trading would be no good because he had better pawn structure, and I thought I was losing by at least a decent bit. Okay, now, if you have a problem, it's because you're down a pawn. And notice, one thing I really want you to see is that the danger is also that if stuff starts trading out, his king will be useful and yours will not, right? Now, one thing I want you to also to see is, with more practice, you'll see that, oh, black's intention was king d8, as I said. Now, maybe your opponent didn't even know that king d8 was his intention, but when you look at it, it's like, oh, well, how else is dude going to untangle? Well, king d8's the only way for him to untangle. So we needed to come up with a path here. And like I said, it's not simple for me to figure out either. So for example, let me show you some problems or variations. Now, unfortunately, we cannot play rook takes e7. And then when we take this way to maintain our pin, dude has knight d5. We can get fancy and play knight c3, right? And this was my thought here. Maybe, though, black gets fancy and plays king d7. With the intention that knight d5 will be met by bishop a3. These are the kinds of tactics I want people to be looking at in the analysis, right? Because there's a big question right here is, what is the best move for white? A positional alternative that I kind of have some sympathy for is maybe we go knight a4, king d8, and maybe now knight c5. It's a kind of a clever move, because if the rook goes somewhere, I don't know, rook d2, I can go check to the miserable king and then take his Bishovsky, right? And if dude takes, then we can claim we have a cool looking bishop. Like I said, this would be a positional way to deal with the position. Is there something better for you? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. You know. So, what's the problem with bishop b2? I don't know if there's a problem, actually, but rook e8 should come. And like I said, long-term, black will be looking to claim that not only are they up a pawn, which maybe someday could be useful, but more importantly, maybe their king will be better than your king. Good move. And now we're going to get some snip. Ooh, that's a terrible move. Bishop d6. Definitely black should capture and then move his bishop somewhere. Maybe it doesn't make a difference. If you have to do that, okay. Oh, bow. This guy's playing with fire, dog. This guy's playing with fire. King f1, and then dude takes here. You got out of your mind? I thought he got too greedy with this bishop take and looked for a way to make these things, but I couldn't find anything. I'm guessing it wants me to take here. I think it means the computer. But I looked for probably 5-10 minutes and just didn't see how it would work. Now, something I want to stress is, if you didn't find it in the game, and maybe there isn't anything, it's certainly, there's things going off in my head thinking, well, bows, I think there's probably something here. But anyways, what am I saying? If you can't find it during the game, this is the moment to be like, bows, we got to look. We got to look to see if we can find something here, because it's very suspicious. Okay. All right, so I'm not seeing anything immediately, by the way. I'm not seeing anything immediately either. Pop. Check to the miserable king. Pop. Now, again, this is referring to the arrow, right? So now we're in trouble, in particular because the rook is so powerful on the 7th rank. Pop, snippos. Rook c1, king b7. Surprised I'm only down 3-3 in the engine. I felt like I was just getting crushed here. Well, 3-3 is, first of all, kind of significant. But the other thing is to see that the knight is, on a practical level, the knight's a tricky dude. So you still definitely got practical chances here. If I was a betting man, for example, I would not count you out here. Good move. Now rook c4, please. Thank you very much. And now something like knight d4, please. There you go. See, chess is an easy game. And now dude has some questions to answer. Okay, now let's take that thing. Okay, good. Now king a7 would remarkably lead to a quick mate. Thank you very much. Now this move doesn't seem right because your king wants to come here to deal with the h-pawn. Not sure that helps you too much with the f4. Okay, but let's just look. Let's read what actually is happening here. So, don't understand this rook move as much as it seems like he should be able to get through no matter what. My mind was all on trying to force checkmate or threefold repetition. Okay, good, good. One thing we can see that black is doing is black is thinking, well, I got to push this pawn boss. I don't know what else to do. But they don't have a clear sense of like how they're going to break the blockade square, which is h3. So they're putting the pawns in the wrong color, not worrying about the fact that your knight will start dancing. And so I like knight e5. I don't even know what's coming next from black, but your knight is dancing. And that's the most important thing. f4, bishop f6, notice that the knight is no longer dancing, right? Bishop will cage that knight. Check the miserable. Check the miserable. Dude gets frisky. I would take that. I would want to at least consider taking that knight. Check the miserable king. I think you might be helping him up the board. Okay. Knight h6. I'm not sure what it does. I hit 5 minutes left here, and so I stopped taking notations. Ended up losing. Okay. Okay, good, dude. Now, one thing about it that's a little confusing to me is at that tournament, now maybe it was different from the lower, I was going to say the lower cohorts, but the lower rating section, there was an increment of, at least in my section, it was a 30 seconds. So you were actually not allowed to stop taking notations, but maybe, like I said, it was different in the lower sections. So this was a pretty great annotation, and I want to say the improvements that could be made to it would be to write down some of the times, to write down more variations, a lot of tactical stuff there that was really interesting, that would really help you with your tactics, and then also to get some evaluations. So for example, let's say we go down this positional line, and let's say they have to take. What is the evaluation of this position? Honestly, for me, it's kind of hard to say. I think black's fine. But, you know, it'd be an interesting question. We're down a pawn, but we have a strong bishop. And probably rook e8 comes, you know. And then we just ask ourselves, well, is it roughly equal? What do I think my chances are? That kind of thing. That will help us later, like, gain the dark art of evaluation. Okay, brilliant. Let's do another one. I think this is our last one. This is I Am Lucas. Yeah, we've got a comment from Zondebach. The thing that is that at lower levels, the swing and eval are very big, so it's very easy for an opponent to blunder a 3-3 advantage. Absolutely. And I want to stress, even at a higher level, let's go to the position where, like, dude felt despair. things are still possible. By the way, like this, I can imagine myself getting into this position and being like, well, I'm going to have something if he takes the pawn, right? And then I get here and I'm like, oh, dude, I don't actually have anything. Let's back it up a second and just think about the tactics. So, right, bishop b2 was the move that really lets him consolidate. And then we do this. And they get really, I'm going to call that super frisky with bishop d6. Pop. That's really frisky from this guy. Super frisky. And we could do a lot of things. If we find nothing else, I think we should just go pile drive the pawn on the c file. I'd rather be white here, as complicated as this thing is, right? Maybe, I don't know. It's complicated. I just want to say it's really complicated. I was going to say it. That's really complicated, man. I understand king f1. Complicated position. This is where you can learn to do some tactics. Okay, that's really good. So, judo. Let me click on judo one more time. Activity. And do this up to 1,000, 1,100. I'm really interested, actually, let's go look ratings. If they're using, I want to see the preferred rating. So they're preferring the Chess.com Rapid, but it's really kind of cool. They're doing, I don't know what all these numbers mean. It's obviously really confusing to me. Something's wrong there. But obviously I want them to graduate with this one and use the USCF as their main preferred business. That's clearly like their, I guess that's our ID. You know, I'm such a boomer that I think of the 1, 2, 4s as like the beginning of a USCF ID. Okay, so let's do another one here. Lucas. I just got to find Lucas, and I have a feeling not recent. And it's going to be right around here. There's Vision. Oh, yeah. I covered Agazapov last week, so I'm hoping this is not a new one. And word to you. We're going to talk about word to you tomorrow. Possibility 0, Eastern Henry. And we're going to do possibility 0 tomorrow. Okay, one more pop. Lucas, the first month in this program has given me a great roadmap to transition away from being a purely online rapid, quick tactic puzzle player and toward playing longer and thinking deeper in a way that is already more rewarding. I look forward to continue on. Oh, dude, put this on a billboard. Put this on a billboard. Fix my numbers, Jack. I don't know what to do about that. I don't know what to do about all that number soup. Okay. Quite possibly that Maryland Open was their first over-the-board experience. So that's one of the things I'm hoping we get more of, like people joining the over-the-board world. Okay, so Lucas. There's some Korean up there. As I said, my name is Lucas in Korean. I'm now a Korean expert. Thank you very much. I got a Korean language rating of like 25, dude. I know how to say my name is Jesse Imnida. If I know how to say that, I get a rating of 20. All right, so we get 82 points gained. Preferred is Lee Chess Classical. There you see it. And let's go activity. And there's the score breakdown. Lucas has already got some going on in this newest cohort. Let's check what they did. Nice. Some game analysis. Lots of endgame, dude. The Silman book. Hardcore with the Silman. Beautiful. That's a nice graph, dude. Time breakdown. Non-dojo. That's some honesty. There's some real honesty there. I'm planning with my non-dojo stuff to, like at the end of the month, to kind of break down like all the streams I did, the lessons I did, that kind of stuff. And then I'm sure I'll also get... I mean, you look at my day, I tried to study in the morning, but then, you know, I got all kinds of dojo stuff going on. A lot of it I do get something out of, but it's definitely not sweat work, right? Okay, so let's see if Lucas has got some games for us. And actually, we'll look quickly what they've done so far. And again, we're talking endgame. Right, Silman, endgame. Nice. Okay, I'm liking it. Though, mostly games and analysis here. Games played, annotated games. Okay, so I'm expecting we're going to see a game here from Lucas. Lots of games, dude. Okay. Good. Let's start with not the 15. Let's start with this one, 56 moves. And okay, that's at least on a superficial level. That looks like notes. This is a 2700 plus 15, so 45 plus 15. And Lucas is black. Watching this stream counts as non-sweat work. It's definitely non-dojo sweat work, right? It's part of the dojo, but in terms of it's non-rec work, right? Okay, so one of the things we're going to be looking for is, did these people think during their moves? And what kind of level of eval do we get? D4, we're seeing that a couple times. Have to accept when offered the squatch. Okay. Do not have to accept when offered poison pawns. I think you can take that thing, Baus. Let's just say knight b3 was a really weird move. No, knight e4, queen e2. You just play queen e7, Baus. You just play queen e7. It's over. You got it. Thank you very much. Welcome to the dojo. Right? Okay. Now, one thing I want to stress, when they do weird stuff, like move a develop piece twice, like knight b3, that's the time to think about tactics. So let me stress, you can't always be looking for the tactics. And so experience should say, like, when they break the principles, that's when we really try to dial it in with the tactics. And so what your mind did, understandable, you were like, dude, I'm losing a piece. Well, no, Bose, you're not. Okay, so knight b3, bishop b7, you are winning the game of development. Knight c3, okay. Castles, bishop d3, d6, fine. Fine. Let's read this note. Bishop g4, f3, bishop h5, g4, bishop g6. Okay, so this is an interesting thing that I want you to see, is that if you, I'm just guessing this is not a computer evaluation, the clear advantage to white. But what it shows me is that black is truly thinking in the analysis about what is the evaluation. And so even though I disagree with that evaluation, I think it's very valuable, right, for everybody involved, for us too as fans, to see the eval and be like, oh, right, dude is really feeling the space. Now, I would say white is in fact better if they got a couple more moves. I just don't know if they're going to get a couple more moves. We're about to pop them with like d5, knight e5. They got to worry about this business, you know? So that's why I want to stress, like, if you, in your games, do variations like that and give an eval, even if you are wrong, even if the computer might disagree with you, you are practicing for what is in real life very important. In real life, over the board, you know, like, can you get away with this thing? And honestly, for me anyway, the reason I don't believe in this for white is that white is so poorly developed. And one thing you are doing really well, even though I wanted you to take the pawn earlier, is every move you're developing your stuff. Okay, let's go back to the game. Bishop b6. I think you got a couple good moves. I like d5. Let's see what you do. Boom, nice. And you are thinking and your opponent is not, right? Look at that, 44 minutes. The dude isn't thinking at all, at all. And if I was white, it's time to think, my friend. It's time to think. Do they think? No, they do not. Okay, so move to develop piece twice. It's time for us to think a little bit about how we might punish this person. DE. Okay, so you do give a nice variation. Let's look. Knight d5 ain't it, because you're just winning the business. So If that's the case, then that's what they should do. Excuse me, that's what you should do is play d4. But then the real variation is knight e2, and then how do we feel about that, right? Yeah. As an example of tactical madness that we would want to calculate, we could think about knight e2, knight e4, touching the coconut, bishop e7, knight d2, bishop d8, knight b3. And I think you're going to be up a pawn at the end of this. Now, that would be something to calculate, an example, right? And so also during the game, that's what I would be looking at. Like, can I punish dude for not developing their stuff and play a move like d4? Yeah. Okay. So you took, and my problem with this is now maybe they can liquidate. They might have some problems here too, Bows. They might actually have some problems. I just realized myself because, so first of all, just the intuition was maybe they can liquidate. Now I'm like, oh wait, no, they cannot because the natural 94. Now we pop them and rop them and jop them, and thank you very much. Now they're just toast. A much very better variation than my d4 garbage. Bows. d4 was great, dude. But it is dependent on the 94 tactic. So we should have that in there. So maybe white saw this and took, and now we're doing great because now look at that bishop. Well, I wanted to play bishop f6. Let's see this variation. Bishop e4, pop, pop. Didn't like any of the exchanges that left knight pinned to the b7 pawn. He's talking about this. Okay, so I think this is a great position for black because you could play rook e8, rook d8. But let's give a moment to what you did, black did, because, because ed3, which I believe is what happened, also is interesting. So pop, pop, and now something terrible happens. Rook a d8. Wait, Bows. Wait, Bows. Rook a d8 was played with about 40 seconds. Jesse, can you also plug my short on YouTube? Link it here, ChessDojoLive. You can link it here, boss. When you say link it, what do you mean it's there? Tell me what you mean, Bows. I'll plug anything you want me to plug, Bows. So, while we're thinking about this plug, let's just say, Lucas, your name is Lucas. You missed something huge here, Bows. Huge. Huge. And it was played kind of quickly. And whenever you're up this much time, now is the time to look. When they play unprincipled, when they give you the time, that's when it's time to struck. The plug has been done. Okay, hold on. Now here's what I want. Hold on. I want to do a little plug here myself. I couldn't get the sound working before. On my end, everybody else heard it. But here we go, Bows. Let me just go grab this bad boy. And I'm going to put in a link. We've got a great short out today. Super pumped about this short. Oh, Bows, you need to get your business straight here. Oh, it's really making a jerk face. Switch account, Bows. There you go. And now, content. Oh, it's not there, Bows. It's not there. Maybe they meant a different short. Look at all these shorts now, man. Who's talking in the chat at me? Huh? Who's talking in the chat? It's on Instagram. And now here, you know what I don't know how to do because I'm a boomer? I don't actually know how to get an Instagram link. Oh, there it is, boss. Now, how do I share this bad boy? Send? No, that doesn't work. How do you share it, Bows? You know what I'm going to do, though? I'm going to play this bad boy with the sound on. Thank you very much.
to your life and never improve. Or you can join the Dojo training program. It's a structured training plan and a community to grow with.
Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo. It's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo. I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe. Reading's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo. It's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo.
You can either play Blitz for the rest of your life and never improve, or you can join the Dojo training program. It's a structured training plan and a community to grow with.
Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo. It's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo. I gave up on the easy. Sweatwork's what we need, G. Sweatwork's what I believe. Reading's what I'll receive. Don't you know? Welcome to the dojo. It's good to grow. Welcome to the dojo.
Nice.
You can either play Blitz for the rest of your life and never improve, or you can join the Dojo training.
That's genius. Does bishop c4 win the queen? No, bishop c4 incorrect, Mundo, because then queen e3 would save that nasty little queen. The correct move is bows. Just take the thing for free. Check to the miserable king. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah. Now, one thing that I want to stress is when we go over our games, we really want to be looking for stuff like this. When you're up time in particular, when you should sense like, oh, this dude's ready to get cracked. It's time for this fool to go. Okay, rook a d8. And that's definitely too cute. Way too cute, Mouse. Way too cute. So now we're going to get a big old trade out. Okay, you're still better a little bit, but dude can castle long. That's fancy. It seemed worthwhile to grab some central space and restrict the knights before moving rooks into action. Well, it's definitely fancy, Bows. Let's give it a chance. Maybe your king comes to the 4. Knight of 3, okay. c6. You're trying to dominate his knights, but now he's got the knight e5 square. So knight e5 followed by f4 would have definitely been fine for white. Now you're making all these pawn moves. One thing I want you to see, okay, is that when people at this level hear Kraai scream about stuff in the openings, what you should realize is at the opening, it's this really nice period of play. And it's one of the reasons why you should not study openings until you're ready for it. It's a period of play where you understand what to do, right? Bring out your dudes, right? At other phases of the game, it's not as apparent what the freak you should do, right? So, for example, in this position, this knight isn't actually going anywhere. So it's just a superficial thing to say, oh, I'm like dominating the knight. This knight should be saying, oh, I want in, Bows. I want in, thank you very much. But what else should happen? This knight should be thinking about controlling some squares. This king eventually dreaming about coming up. This rook dreaming about coming over here. g6 don't do nothing. Doesn't do anything. And now we've really lost the d file and we're in some trouble. Okay, now knight e5 is a good move. Okay, so this move is fancy, but I don't think it's not nearly as strong as knight e5 because here you could have played rook f7 in addition to your move knight b6. And we definitely got to get this guy out of dodge. We got to get him out. He's too powerful, Bows. Rook on the 7th. No, we don't want that dude there. Okay. Knight g5. Probably good. Okay. Actually, I take it back. So I take it back, Bows. I was wrong. Knight e5 to prevent rook d7. Thank you very much. What? He's like trying to mate himself. What's the idea of king b1? So fast, too. Let me go on a little rant. So there's many reasons that we want you to play longer games. But one of them is just like, we want you to play against people, too, who are thinking themselves. Like, this dude isn't actually thinking. And when I think about king b1 and the motivations for king b1, I got to go down a deep rabbit hole to try to just even start. Even start. I'm like, what is King B1 about, Bows? And we were talking about time. One of the things, the reasons that old-timer GMs like myself like to play the young kids in the end game is, in the end game, they often don't know what to do. So, for example, here, white doesn't know what to do, and maybe they're motivated by a sense of like, oh, I saw King B1 in one of my Chessable opening courses, and I was trying to make my king safe. I don't know. But the king had at least a job to control these two squares. Thank you very much. We're hanging some stuff. So knight h7. Not sure what happened. Opponent would go on to show great patience in playing out this game, including some long thinks, so must have been in mindset a few moves ago when king was only defender and rook was on 8th rank. Okay. Thank you. That's just really joyful to take a pawn like that, you know? That's not it. Thank you. Okay. 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 There you go, Bows. There you go, Bows. Okay. Now we're going to see you try to close this thing out. You're doing great. Your opponent's just yard sailing it. Yeah. They play on. Don't stalemate, Bows. Don't stalemate. Checkmate! This felt pretty even. I had a slightly better initiative out of the opening. I felt, and I am curious if I missed a tactical opportunity. Now I want to stress, bishop takes b3 is something, if you didn't find it during the game, you should find it in the post-mortem or your post-game analysis. But white played through it and held an advantage I felt before blundering the knight. True. They made it easy from there, allowing the rest of their pawns to fall. Post-game computer analysis. Oh yeah, computer confirms the basic storyline. I had indeed missed a tactic to win a knight with bishop b3. Discover check. Okay, great, dude. So Lucas is making some progress. Really cool. And then we got our Instagram thing. Now, if you want to do the dojo a favor, we're trying to make this thing go viral today. Okay? We're trying to make it go viral. Will it go viral? We never know. We never know, but this is our attempt to get... we worked hard, Dojo 2.0. So we're using the magic of Instagram Reels and TikTok to bring them in, to bring people to the dojo. All right, everybody, that's it for me. I will be back tomorrow. I have 10 more graduates tomorrow. They will all be 1,200 plus. I believe so. Yeah, 1,200 plus tomorrow, including Mr. Barbarian up first. So we're going to raid somebody.